suppose I should start at the beginning. Yesterday, I was called upon by a close friend of mine to examine a crime scene. His dear sister had appeared to be murdered, and as I was a detective and was due for a visit anyway, I thought I'd stop by. I say appeared to be murdered because when I arrived at the crime scene, there was no body, though it was clear that there had been a struggle. I found blood all over the floor, and anything that could be knocked over was knocked over. But perhaps the most curious thing of all was that in place of a body, there was a coat, in a position that if someone had been wearing it, would have been very uncomfortable indeed. And what was even more worrying was that that particular coat happened to be one of mine. I decided to keep that bite of information to myself in worry of how it may appear, but it appeared I was being framed. Later that night, I found myself at my desk, looking over my notes, checking alibis, trying to build a suspect list. However, unfortunately, I seemed to be the most suspect person to come by that day. I chuckled a little bit at this, but then suddenly stopped as I realized that I could not recall where I was in the time frame of the murder. But of course, I couldn't have killed anyone. I would have remembered. To rid myself of these haunting thoughts, I turned my attention to my coat that somehow found itself in the middle of a crime scene. There was blood on the outside of the jacket, but not on the inside, as if it had been worn by the killer while viciously stabbing the victim. I checked the pockets and found a knife, the murder weapon. I rushed back to my desk to add all of this new information to my notes. It appears that someone stole my coat and left it at the crime scene to frame me. Or else the only other explanation, despite the absurdity of the claims, that my coat, after gaining self-awareness and autonomy, strolled out of my closet this morning and, struck by a homicidal rage, murdered the sweet Louise. Or else, there is one more possibility.